Stress is a natural response to uncertainty, and it's totally okay to want to worry about the future every so often. But when we obsess about future events, that pattern can lead us to potentially a disorder based on anxiety called anticipatory anxiety, which is essentially the fear of unknown future events. One thing I used to obsess about a lot was the future, and it caused so much panic and anxiety in my life. It affected everything, including my health. So what did I do to overcome this? I'm Thomas Edwards, creator and author of The One-Up Effect, helping high-performing professionals who have family have fun becoming their best self through purpose, play, passion, and performance. In this video today, I'm going to share with you 3 things I started to do that stopped me from obsessing about the future. I was worrying and was so obsessed about the future that even the sheer thought of an event would trigger my escapism, which led to a lot of drug and alcohol abuse. And eventually it impacted my sleep. I would have sleepless nights obsessing about what was going to happen the next day. And eventually it affected my self-esteem. It increased my anxiety. I would have headaches. And eventually I'd be depressed over the helplessness I had and that I felt about the future. And it got to a point where I knew that my life was dependent on releasing myself from this obsession about the future. So I really spent time understanding, well, what can I do every day if I have to overcome this obsession about the future so I can stay more present in what really matters. And it all came down to 3 specific things. The first thing I did was I actually played out the tape of the future. For me, I would always go into the what if spiral. I would think about what if this happened, what if that happened, and then I would stay there and get stuck in the spiral of what ifs, and it led me down a road where I just would feel awful and scared and filled with fear. So what I decided to do was actually play out those tapes. Well, what if that thing happened? What would I do next? What would be my options there? And it allowed me to be in the presumed reality of what I thought would happen. And by having some type of understanding and plan for that, it actually alleviated some of that fear that I had of the unknown, because I created some certainty in how I would handle that situation. Eventually, it got me to the reality, which was I was trying to prepare myself for events that never happened or was not going to happen. And it allowed me to really be more present to the fact that these what ifs were just hypotheticals that my mind was just making up purely out of fear. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this video, and I want to let you know that I have a presentation on how to make life a game that you can win and have fun playing. And if you want free access to it, you can click the link below in the description, or you can wait until the end of this video, or you can directly go to thomasedwardsjr.com/webinar and you can watch it there. The second thing was I focused solely on what I could control. I can't control the future. There's no thing I can do that's going to guarantee me the future that I want. And I really learned this the most when I was adopting the Serenity Prayer. And 3 key things about this prayer was about accepting what I cannot control and what I cannot change, and the courage to change the things that I can control, the things that I can change, and having this wisdom to understand the difference. Those 3 things allowed me to really let go of things that just weren't within my control, and it allowed me to come back to the reality and the present of what I can, which is typically my attitude and my effort in response to life. And the third thing is looking for evidence for the thoughts and the feelings that I would have and experience before I would behave and respond to events. When I would be in a situation, I'd be triggered, and I have a story that would roll in my mind. This was my ego running this automated program that would have this sequence of I have this thought, that I'd feel a certain way, and then I should behave a certain way as a result of that. But the problem is, my thoughts would generate what I know, or I call it as thought errors. These errors may have some truth in them, but they're not fully accurate. For example, if I get into a conversation or an argument with my wife, I could have the story of my wife hates me, she does not love me, and that would generate some feelings of worthlessness and self-pity and shame and sadness, and then I start behaving in a way that's harmful to myself and maybe even to other people. But when I go back into that thought, what's the evidence there that actually says that my wife hates me? Yes, we had an argument. Yes, we disagreed upon something. Does that really mean that she hates my guts? It's unlikely. And when I'm able to find enough evidence, it really dissolves the strength and the power of that argument, which then allows me to heal those feelings that I had of feeling hurt. And in turn, it allows me to behave in a different way that can actually be loving and helpful for me and for other people. And so I'm able to find that evidence that disproves a lot of those charged thoughts that takes me down a path that I don't want to go down. It allows me to worry less about the future and how to handle situations in the future by seeing the truth in what my mind is trying to convince me otherwise. And doing these three things consistently, even if it means me doing them every day, allows me to stay out of the future that I cannot control and stay in the place where all the magic happens, which is right here, right now, in the present. Well, this is what I think. Comment below, let me know what you think. How much do you worry about the future, and how does that impact your present today? Does your future cause you to think so much that you lose sleep, or you feel sick to your stomach? Or are you the type that creates stories that then generates future possibilities that you obsess over? And what do you think about these three things that I do to remove myself from the future to stay present? Have you tried any of these things? Have they worked? Have they not worked? What are some other things that you've tried and that has worked that pulls you out of the future and keeps you in the present? Comment below, let me know your experiences. I hope you found that video fun and useful. And if you want to get that free presentation on how to make life a game that you can win and have fun playing, click the link below. And if you want to watch another video that's fun and useful, click the link right over here. Go ahead, it's right there. Click it. I'll see you there.